This is a project that I have wanted to do for a long time, but for the longest time I couldn't get my hands on one of these. This is a Game Boy Color, an original Game Boy Color. It is in rough shape, absolutely rough shape, but that's great because what I want to do with it is I want to move it to this new shell, and I want to put in a drop-in color LCD display. Because just like the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, which I don't know if you can even see that, it's just a garbage screen, at least by today's standards. Back then, wow, this was absolutely amazing. I can't even get it so you can see it. So let's open her up, take it apart, and let's start transporting everything over into the new shell. Now, special thing about Game Boys, at least the Game Boy Color, and I don't think the original Game Boy is like this. It uses a special Y-wing tip screwdriver, so it's like Phillips missing one part. So you need a special screwdriver. Luckily, the kit that I ordered came with it. Okay, so we're into the back. It looks pretty good. The battery terminals are in great shape. So yeah, let's just continue to take this apart. Looks like now we're switching to Phillips screws. See over there. And on top, doesn't appear to be. Okay. So let's just disconnect the existing LCD. All right, so there is the Game Boy. Should clean that speaker a little bit. It's at least a little bit better, because we will be able to see it in the new shell, because it's see-through. So I think I'm going to try to clean these original buttons, because these are always better than the remakes. So it comes with a piece of adhesive that you lay down in the case, and then you pop out the whole center part because it's not needed. So I guess this is what holds in the screen when you put the new one in, because it isn't exactly the same size as the original screen. So it'll go in there like that. Now what I will have to do is I'll have to put the glass plate on first, the glass screen here, and then I'm going to actually have to take the screen protector off of the LCD before I put it down. And then you get like one chance to do it right. Let's get this on there. So this is a nice one that came with the display. It's actually a glass. It's a glass one. So that comes out. Oh, you didn't even see that. Okay, so there we go. So I put it in, it's all glued down, everything's good there, and it covers up all of the internal stickers. So this here, you don't see any of it. So now we have the fun part. I have to hope that I don't get any dust or dirt on there. let's get this part of the sticker undone. Okay. The plastic, the protector came off of one of the touch sensors. So I gotta get that back on so it doesn't stick somewhere that it's not supposed to. It's not gonna work. That's at least gonna keep it from sticking where it's not supposed to. This is just gonna be like putting a screen protector on a phone. You're always gonna get a piece of dust in there. I just know it. I just know it. All right, let's go for broke here. Screen protector is off. Flipping her over. Placing her in. I got it. Amazing. So it does go all the way up against the top of the shell and then center it as best you can. Hopefully that'll look all right. All right. So there are two touch sensors on the top, as you can see here. These go on the shell in a couple different places so that you can have access to the menus. But there are also some solder pads right here for the A, select, and a ground. So you can wire those if you like to test pads on the Game Boy board. So select is right here at P12. P13 is the start button. And then P11 is B, and P10, which is right there, is A. But my P10 looks a little corroded. I need to take a look at that. Yeah, there's just some crud. Okay, so all those pieces cleaned up really well. They turned out better than, honestly, that I expected. And that way I don't have to use any of the aftermarket bits. So now what I have to do is decide if I want to wire up those buttons, because the wires are on this side of the board. So they have to either go down, like they have to go down before I finish this installation. So right now that's what it's looking like. Oh, power switch fell out again. Yeah, all the buttons feel good. They do look a little bit older, a little bit beat up compared to the rest of it, but I'd rather have these buttons than the aftermarket buttons. Okay, so I tinned the pads, and let's tin them on the... So I connected the 4 optional wires to the spots on the board. So now I just have to get this in so that none of the wires go across the joystick ports. And looks okay, I think. Nope. One going right through the middle of the D-pad. Okay, I think we got it. Wires are visible in the shell, but meh. And everything looks to be okay. So I think what I want to do right now is I want to screw the board down so that none of this falls apart again. So now, last step is to hook up the LCD again, which is just sliding that ribbon cable in all the way and then pushing down on the connector. So it's locked in. There. So I still have to position the 2 touch sensors, but I'm not quite sure where I want to put those yet, and hopefully those won't be too hard to position around. But what I would like to do is just kind of tuck them in under here for now. And I'll throw the back on. Oh, on-off switch fell out again. There we go. Goes this way. Well, looks pretty good. Let's throw in the batteries and see if she works. Moment of truth. Sweet. Screen is not quite positioned where I'd want it though. Let's just toss a game in. It's not reading that game. There we go. That is 100 times better. Well, okay, let's see what we can do about the positioning of the screen. So it's a little crooked this way, so it needs to come up this way and move over a bit. So this side up and move over. So up, over this way. Got it. All right, perfect. I adjusted the screen and now it is bang on. So what I found is that, yeah, the screen is drop in compared to some of the other ones that you have to modify the shell in order to fit the screen in. But what they don't tell you is that, yeah, it's a little smaller than the actual screen, because the actual screen fits in the whole square. But what I found is that when you put it in, it actually just needs to go all to one side. Okay, so what I found is that when you put the screen in, put it with the display face down, put the screen all the way up and all the way in this corner. So right up, force it right up into that corner and then stick it down, and that will be a pretty darn close alignment to the screen, like to the display on the front. So that is what I suggest that you do if you get this one. This is just a cheap knockoff one probably that I picked up off of AliExpress because that's where I can get stuff. There's the brand name of it, and it's the 2.5 inch or 2.45 inch drop-in display one. All right, so now I just got to position the touch sensors and screw the board back down. So let's do that. Okay, so I got the second touch sensor installed. This looks a little stupid because what happened was the paper, when it went back on, went on the wrong way. So now the paper stuck to the glue that was on the touch sensor. So I just used a little piece of any of the remnants from, the tape that had been used in installing the screen, and I just stuck it in there, and it's clear so you can barely see it, but the touch sensor now has a big white piece of paper on it. Hopefully that still works. I can't see why it wouldn't. It works through plastic, so that little extra bit of paper shouldn't be a problem. All right, let's put the back on. Put some batteries in before we screw it all down. Flip her over. Oh, cartridge. Perfect. We are on the home stretch. So let's put this all back together. Okay, last screw. All right, batteries in, battery cover on, cartridge in, power on. Well, that looks 100 times better than the original screen. That is for sure. Now, this game is terrible. just terrible. Oh, man. Oh, this is just bad. All right, well, let's do the peel. And there we go. Oh, actually, you know what? Never tested those touch sensors up top. See if they do anything. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Let's go cycling through different brightness levels. Oh, and there it changed color palettes. So with the optional buttons that I connected, I can bring up the menu. So I can, with select B and A pressed at the same time, it brings up the menu. So select B and A, and then select when the menu is up, rolls through all of the options. So you can actually change the vertical and horizontal position. So if you, as long as you got it in straight, you can move it around on the screen in order to get it properly centered. I did it physically, so it looks okay. But then you have brightness, and so let's see, I'm gonna get back to brightness right there. And then A moves it down and B moves it up. So yeah, you can get it real bright. And then color mode, or black and white mode, or change it to weird colored modes. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Pixel effects, so you can add like different, looking like the different CRTs and different LED screens and stuff like that. And then FRM, don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up. And then quick touches, I'm assuming, for the touch buttons. And then horizontal position, and then vertical position, and then you can factory reset it if you screwed up all your settings. So when you do want to do this, definitely do it without a game in, because when you start pressing A and B, it just starts doing stuff on the game. So yeah, well, I'm happy with that. So that's looking pretty good. I like it. I like the shell. The shell was cheap. It was not expensive at all. And it makes it look so much better than what I probably could have got out of this guy, even cleaning it completely. Now, the shell did come with another lens. So if I ever wanted to get this yellow one looking good again, I can scrub that, clean it up, see if I can get it going, and then I can remove that and put on a brand new lens. And then, yeah, still missing a battery cover, but, you know, maybe I'll find a yellow one someday that's got a completely broken shell or screen or something like that, and then this will come in handy. Anyway, that's it for today's video. And let's play some more Game Boy. Actually, it looks like I didn't get anything in between the screen. Like, there's no dust in there. So, kudos for that. Anyway, that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.